takes you onto a boat. You're led to a room which has an older man in it, and then basically told to perform sexual acts. And, could you talk to me about what that moment does to your psyche when you're that?
I mean, the fact that I was 18, even though I'd lived such a huge life, our frontal lobes don't develop until we're, 25, 26. So even though I felt like I could make healthy decisions, safe decisions, I wasn't capable of being fully aware of what was going on around me. And it wasn't until I found myself in predicaments that I realized, like, my perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. That moment shook me and was shocking, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening. I was led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down the stairs and presented as though it was like a surprise. And it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this. Like, this was just, an average day for him. This is something that happens all the time. And I waited for her to leave, and that lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide, and I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. There was no jumping off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to, I realized that there was nobody who was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
Man, real quick, I want to send a huge shout out, man, and a huge rest in peace to this young lady right here, Hayden Panettiere. I think life can be so short, and it's sad that you see a lot of people in Hollywood going through the same thing over and over and over again. And that's part of the reason why I want to talk about this today. Is like, when you think about Hollywood, especially I live out here in LA, I deal with the Hollywood stuff all the time living out here. Hollywood is literally down the street from me. I've been working in the industry as far as cutting hair in the industry and doing other things as well, dabbling in music as well. Since about, I want to say 2012, 2013, you hear these stories all the time. You hear these stories, you see these stories all the time. But a lot of people scroll past it. A lot of people look past it because it's just something that happens, right? But sometimes you can't bounce back from these things, right? So, when you think about this woman dying, you think about her losing her life. You think about, oh well, damn, something could happen. Or they say cardiac arrest or whatever it may be. 9 times out of 10, it's way deeper than that. It's way, 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 way deeper than that. And we try to push it under the rug. People try to make excuses for it. Oh man, nah, man, y'all just trying to conspiracy theorists. 9 times out of 10, it be people that don't even be close to Hollywood to even know what really go on. It be fans that sit back from across the country that be like, oh man, nah, they just conspiracy. No, it ain't conspiracy shit. A lot of wild shit goes on in Hollywood that messes people's heads up. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people sit back and just, oh well, nah, they're just crazy. Britney Spears is just crazy, and she was just she's not making the money she was making no more, so she's crazy. She doesn't appreciate what she had. No, these people be very sane people, but that be going through a lot of shit. She just said she was 18, probably just turned 18, and that she was already taken down to sleep with a Hollywood producer director to get a role, right? And at the end of the day, she's been in the industry since a long time. If you do not remember really who this girl is, and I'm seeing all the videos, I'm seeing all the memes and everything, but if you do not remember um who this girl is, I want to bring some stuff up for you guys. I want to bring some stuff up, right? Because when you talk about 90s, early 2000s classics, you gotta think about this girl who played in this movie, right? And y'all, and for the true fans, y'all know what I'm referencing. What movie I'm referencing? You know what I'm saying? So many 90s classics, but this right here definitely was one of the ones that stood out for sure for this girl.
Wanna play? I just did my nails. What you doing? Shooting some hoops. Wanna play?
For those of you who don't remember, this was the little girl from Remember the Titans. Classic movie. Classic movie. You know, we all kind of fell in love with the movie. I believe this movie came out in, I want to say, let me see. I want to say 2001. Let me see. Remember. Let me see. Remember the Titans. Let me see. 2000. 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was, when you talk about classics, when you talk about a movie that stood the test of time, when you talk about one of Denzel's most iconic roles, you gotta think about this movie. You know, and like I said, this was the young girl who was in love with football in this movie. You know, she definitely won everybody's hearts over with this. So like I said, when you talk about what Hollywood does, Hollywood can make or break somebody. You know, and all of these kids that you see in Hollywood, the Orlando Browns, the Raven Simones, the Britney Spears, so many of them. They all go through these crazy moments, and then they all, you know, if they don't die early, it's some type of traumatic breakdown early. So again, as the news unfolds and they start talking about really what happened, because right now they're saying cardiac arrest. They're saying cardiac arrest. She died, I believe, in her I want to say hotel room. This right here. So actor Hayden Panettiere, known for roles in Heroes in Nashville, dies at 36 years old. Police in Greenville, South Carolina, said the preliminary investigation has not indicated any signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances. Panettiere revealed this year that she struggled with postpartum depression and addiction. Actor Hayden Panettiere, who was known for roles in television's Heroes in Nashville, it is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. Her father, Skip Panettiere, said in a statement provided by her representative. The cause and manner of death were not provided. Her publicist, Casey Kitchen, said Panettiere's death was being investigated. There's an investigation ongoing. Kitchen said in the statement, "We should know more tomorrow." Police in Greenville, South Carolina said in a statement that officers accompanied by EMS personnel responded to a report of an unresponsive female at around 1:50 p.m. Sunday. Upon arrival, medical assistance was administered. However, the individual later identified as Hayden Panettiere was pronounced deceased at the scene. The statement said the case is under investigation by the Greenville Police Department in conjunction with the Greenville County Coroner's Office. The preliminary investigation has not indicated any signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances. Like I said, man, what I personally think that it might be or it might have been, it could be that she got addicted to substances. It could be that because of everything that you go through in Hollywood, right? And you could tell, like, again, it goes back to most people that grew up in Hollywood. Not every case, but a lot of cases, these kids be going crazy because of everything that happened. You talk about kids that's young. You talk about kids that's young, that's in the limelight, that's moving around with adults. A lot of times these adults have their best interests at heart. A lot of times they don't. You know what I mean? She even stopped messing with her own mama because she was like, yo, you know, her mama kind of put her out there. A lot of these kids y'all see that are child actors, child stars, they never wanted to be actors. They never wanted to be actors. These kids that you see, their parents was pushing them to get out there and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence why all of these child actors be going crazy or these child stars be going. It's not a coincidence. But we still sit back as grown people and be like, oh, well, you know, they just got on them drugs. They just, like, I hear so many people online just say stupid shit. Oh, well, you know, they can't handle it's because the Hollywood, it's because no. But why is it though? Why are they getting on drugs? Why are they constantly doing wild shit? Why is Britney Spears walking around crazy? Why is Orlando Brown walking around crazy? Oh, well, he just on drugs. But why though? Nobody want to look at the real issues. Why? What's going on in Hollywood? Right? You blaming the kid or the person, but not looking at the parent. She was a kid. I don't fuck with my mama to this day. A lot of them don't fuck with their parents to this day. You can go back and talk Michael Jackson. As much of a star he was, why the crazy shit? Why? Because the parents have pushed them to live out a dream that they necessarily didn't really want to live out. Now, granted, do they have the money? Of course. Do they have the fame? Of course. You know what I'm saying? But does that mean that they happy? Does that mean that they not going crazy? Does that mean that, you know what I'm saying, like they shouldn't feel no type of way? Come on now. This shit is sad out here, man. This shit is sad out here. Look at this. This is another interview or another piece of the interview that I played where she's talking about her mom. She's talking about her mom putting her in Hollywood and how she don't mess with her no more.
No, there is not a relationship between her and I, sadly. I've gone through periods of time where we haven't spoken at all. It seemed to me it was kind of like there was no reason. She had no reason to call, and the only reason why she would reach out was when something was needed. It wasn't just to say, you know, hi, or how are you, or let's grab a bite, or anything like that. It's been a really tough road, and no matter how many times that door has been slammed in my face, I've desperately seeked her approval for my entire life. You know, she was the person after every take that I looked to. I would look to the director or the producers or anybody else. The only person that existed and the only person that was whose opinion mattered to me was hers. So after every take, no matter what I was doing, I would find her, and I'm sure I made the directors feel like, hey, because I would run right past them straight to mom, and I had to make sure that she was happy with it and I wasn't in trouble, because if I didn't do it right, I was in trouble. Yeah.
Listen, man, this is to all the parents out here, right? I'm gonna be clear. Do what you want to do with your kids. I ain't nobody to tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your kids, but I'm gonna say this. Understand what you're doing when you're forcing your kids to be something and to do something that they don't truly want to do. I want y'all to really understand me. I want y'all to really listen to this. Understand what you're doing to your kids. All you football dads, fucking cheerleading moms, all you actor parents. A lot of times, your kid don't want to do that shit. They doing it because that's your dream. They don't want to do that. They don't want to be the top running back for the school. They don't give a fuck about none of that. That's your dream. They don't want to be the actor that's on all the Disney movies. You want it to be that. And I get it. You want opportunity for your kids, as do I. But as parents, we gotta start saying, look, what does my child want to do? Let me support what my child want to do. And I get it. A child is going to not be consistent in shit. So as a parent, you want to push them. But guess what? You could push them too far. Especially you entertainment parents. You pushing them too far and you're not even there to see what's going on when you leave. How many kids? The Olsen twins. How many kids? How many kids then got touched on and different shit that went on behind closed doors? And they coming out as adults fucked up. But the parents like, nah, you're going to be a star. You're going to be this. That's what you want because you want the bread. Because you not a hustler, nigga. You not a hustler, so you want to sit there and try to make it seem like, oh, well, I'm just helping my kid follow their dream. No, that's your dream. We got to stop doing that shit. This is another case. So, yeah, maybe she got on drugs, whatever it was, but it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Hayden Panettiere. Rest in peace.